All right, well, a lot of you have asked for it and it's finally happening. And that is how to adjust your air suspension on the Jaguar X350 platform. What I'm going to show you today is basically how to calibrate your air suspension using the SDD. This will make sure that, if you've changed your air struts or anything like that, that you can go into the SDD and basically ensure that the car is nice and level and back to the factory ride height. But then I'm also going to show you at the end of the video some tips on how you can lower the car using the SDD as well, using really what I say a couple little tricks to the system just to help adjust the ride height. I've seen a lot of people have asked for this in comments on other videos, and I finally have the opportunity to do it today. And here's the car in question that we're going to be treating to the suspension recalibration. Our lovely 2009 X358 Vandam Pla in Astral Gold. And if you are new to the channel, now's the opportunity for me to ask you to please consider subscribing. There are tons of videos out there that I've put out on Jag content, how to maintain these beautiful cars on your own, and the tips and tricks I've used to do it on a budget as well. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and definitely drop me a comment as well. I do my best to respond to every single person, answer any questions you may have, and really stay engaged with you as we go through this journey. And with that, let's get started on calibrating the suspension on our X358 today. Step one is going to require one of these Mongoose cables. I'll put a link in the description below. But this is what is required to communicate with the ECU on the Jag and actually get into the ECU and get the actual codes that really is more like the dealer level codes, so we can do this calibration. So you got to get this and you got to plug it into the OBD2 port. Then you're going to need a laptop that's running Windows XP, which may be the hardest part of all of this. And welcome to the SDD. And one thing to mention, make sure you have your battery hooked up to a tender. This is really just to make sure there's a constant, steady voltage to the battery. You are reading and writing to these modules on the car. And if the voltage gets too low, you could risk corrupting a module, and you obviously do not want to end up in that situation. Also, when working with the SDD, you'll find that there is a lot of turning the ignition on, then off, then back on, then starting the engine, and so on and so forth. That is part of the diagnostic process. So with that, we're going to turn the ignition on. Now we can read the VIN. Once you've read the VIN, identify the vehicle. And make sure your ignition is on again. And now we see we found my car, and we're going to have to wait a little while. We want to enter a session, and we're still loading. Apparently we're beeping now. Loading some more. And we're in. Woohoo! So we want to select some symptoms. This is what I'm going for. And hit continue. We are loading. Unfortunately, we are not armor plated. Tell me that wouldn't be cool though if we had an armor plated Jag. Now we're analyzing. Select service functions. And once the analyzing is done, let's do some scrolling down. And we want to do air suspension calibration. So let's run this. We have to agree, and the fun begins. If I haven't mentioned it already, make sure that your car is on a flat surface. Obviously, if you're on a surface where your suspension is compressed or something like that, then you are not going to get a good calibration, because when you get onto a flat surface, the car is going to be a little bent out of shape and trying to level itself based on the requirements you put in while going through this procedure. So for me, I have it on a garage floor that I know is pretty flat. I would recommend doing the same as you go through this. Now we get to turn the ignition off again. Now you want to make sure your car is not in jack mode, which is basically its service mode. If you've just been using it, it probably isn't, but like it says, drive it to make sure. Time to put the ignition back on again. Now make sure your parking brake's on and that you are in park. Now we get to start the engine. Well, she started. And I would actually recommend turning as many accessories off as possible. So your automatic headlights, your climate control, your stereo, just turn all that stuff off so there's not drawing the battery while you're going through this process. Modules are initializing. Leveling in progress. Pretty hard to catch on video, but actually the car is making fine tweaks to the suspension and you can hear it jacking up one side, then lowering another right now. Now we have to shut the car off. And now we put the ignition back on, but not running. And now the measuring begins. This is the fun part. For the folks in Europe that have measuring devices in millimeters, this will be super easy for you. For me, my tape measure is in standard, so I have to do a little bit of converting to millimeters to get the calibration figured out and perfect. So now we go corner to corner, measuring the height in millimeters from the center of the wheel to the fender lip. So this will give you an idea of how to make the measurement. And for me, I'm sitting at right at 15¼ inches on this front wheel. So this conveniently converts to 387 millimeters. Scroll back up, there it is. Check. Now we gotta do the next corner, which for me is sitting at about 15½ on this side, so about a ¼ inch difference. So that's 394 millimeters. Now the rear left. So for me, the rear left is sitting at 14½ inches, which is 368 millimeters. And now for the last one. So on this one, I'm at about 14¾ inches, which is 375 millimeters. Check. Now we start the engine. So it's leveling again. And if we come around here, you can hear the little compressor going. Oh. It's doing a little bit. And you do have to be a little patient while the car figures itself out, but it's going corner to corner and making fine adjustments to the ride height. And now we shut it off again, and we switch it back on again. And now we're back to remeasuring. So this is the part in the beginning of the video I mentioned where you can actually lower the car now. So as you go around and put these final measurements in, this is really what's gonna lock in the ride height for the car. So if you wanted to lower the car maybe 10 millimeters in the front, when you put your value in at this point in time, let's say it was 375 millimeters, if you wanted to lower it 10 millimeters, add 10 millimeters. So you would put the value of 385 millimeters in there. By doing this, the car will think that it's in a slightly different position and thus lower the car by 10 millimeters. So with that, I'm gonna go around and take my final measurements. Okay, so now we're at 15�3/8, so it's actually raised the car up about 1/8 inch on this side. So my actual value is 391 millimeters. But like I said, if you wanted to lower the front 10 millimeters, you would put 401 at this point in time. I'm now at 15�3/8 on this wheel. So the car has leveled it out between the front. It's kind of split the difference in ride height. So this puts us again at 391. Check our value. And now we go to the back. So at the back now, we are 14 3/4 inches. So I believe that raises up about 1/4 inch. So that puts us in at 375 millimeters. And again, if we wanted to lower the back 10 mil, or maybe let's just say 5, this is where we would put 380. And you can see here, we are at 14 3/4 as well, which is great. So we'll put our 375 in here. Now the ECU is working its magic and locking in our calibrated ride height. And if all goes well, you should be greeted with this wonderful message that the air suspension has been calibrated successfully. Better not forget to set the ignition switch to off. And with that, you find yourself back at the service functions. So with that, we have perfectly calibrated air suspension on the Jaguar X350 and X358. Like I said, it's a little bit of a tedious process. There are a lot of steps that you have to follow down to a T, but as you saw, it got the car perfectly level on every corner. So now, even though I had replaced an air strut, the car knows exactly what the ride height is with the new replacement strut, and everything is calibrated back to how it should be from the factory in my case. So I hope you all found this really informative and helpful. I know it took me a while to figure out how to do this, but once figuring it out, it has really helped me out, especially as you've seen in some of my other videos. I've changed out a couple of different struts on the car, and each time after doing it, the car does not sit quite right. I've been able to use this procedure to set it back to factory settings so that the car rides correctly and the height is as anticipated. So if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for checking out this video. And if you came here because you were checking out Jaguar content and how to maintain them, there is plenty more of that coming on the channel. There's plenty of work to do on our X358 here, but I thought the video today would be useful to everyone. Again, if you are new, please consider subscribing. It really does help me out. I am trying to grow the channel, and the more subscribers, the more comments that I get from you really does help me. And if there's other video content that you might want to see on these X358 platforms, definitely let me know. I'm constantly working on this, fine-tuning it, improving it. And if I happen to be doing that job, I'd be more than happy to film it and share how to do it or the way I found that was the easiest for me so that it makes your life easier in the future as well. So with that, we're gonna wrap up today's episode. I hope you found that informative, and I hope that it helps a bunch of people out when it comes to maintaining these beautiful cars. So with that, I'm gonna catch you all on the next episode.